Welcome to the Salt and Mirrors and Cats podcast, interviews and audio dramas from our literary zine with stories, poems and art about superstitions. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 5 of the Salt and Mirrors and Cats podcast. I am your host, Carrie Seabrook, bringing you tales of superstition and exclusive interviews with some of our team members, along with 4 of the writers that participated in our zine. Can you believe it? We're almost at the end of the first season of our podcast. In today's episode, we'll hear from our third guest, Anna Chorlton, and her tale, The Veil, narrated by Claire Calverley. Joanna spoke to Anna about superstition.
Welcome to the podcast, Anna. Thank you so much for being a guest writer with Salt and Mirrors and Cats. I'm so honoured to have you here today. Could you tell us more about what the word superstition means to you?
Superstition is a framework for everyday life. It exists somewhere on the edges of consciousness and rational thought. When I'm feeling anxious, superstitions become more prominent. I begin to be aware of not stepping on the cracks and touching wood. There are a lot of superstitions surrounding events involving the unknown, like birth, death, and illness. An example of this is the baby born on cool or in the veil or unbroken membrane. It's very rare, and the babies are thought to hold special gifts as seers and orators. They will also never drown. I think superstition is brilliant because it acts as a warning to watch out for the power of fate and the supernatural.
Are there any superstitions you personally believe in?
I'm really drawn to magpie superstition. 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a girl, 4 for a boy, 5 for silver, 6 for gold, 7 for a secret never to be told. I become sad and a little uneasy or joyful, depending on how many magpies I see. I felt uncomfortable when my daughter passed me on the stairs and put an umbrella up in the living room as part of her dance. I believe this will bring misfortune, but I also take this with a pinch of salt.
Do you carry any lucky objects that you believe might bring you good luck? And if you don't, are there any specific charms that you think might be lucky, like rabbits' feet?
My cat sometimes brings in rabbits, but I would never keep one of their feet, no.
Are there any superstitions in your local area that you find interesting?
My favourite Cornish superstition is birth on the incoming tide, death on an ebb tide. I think this is a beautiful way of looking at life and death. We come in with the tide and go out with the tide. I've written a poem about this.
Do you have a favourite superstition not covered in your story?
I like superstitions that rhyme. Rock the cradle empty, you'll have babies aplenty. To dream a fruit out of season means anger without reason.
What was the inspiration behind The Veil?
My daughter was born in the Vale, or in Cool. Unfortunately, I was never given it, and I don't know if it was thrown away or if someone stole it. Her birth prompted a lot of talk of superstitions surrounding the Cool. I asked Folklore Thursday about the superstitions of the Cool and was inundated with superstitions from across the world. I've wanted to write about this for a long time, and when you asked me to write inspired by superstition, I knew immediately I'd write about the superstitions of the baby in the Cool. I wove in the tradition from Cadwaith fishermen in Lizard Peninsula in West Cornwall. The Cadwaith fishermen would give fresh fish for life in exchange for a Cool.
It's been wonderful to hear from you. Could you tell us about other projects that you're working on?
I have been writing a short smuggling story set in rain to be published in a book for 7 to 11-year-olds by Cornwall's Area of Natural Beauty. I am researching my second collection of folk tales, Cornish folk tales of place, Mid and West Cornwall.
The Veil by Anna Chorlton. Read by Claire Calverley. My waters still haven't broken, and I'm in pain. I feel cramps quickening in pace as my body prepares for birth. Faster and faster the contractions come in waves of heat and hurt. How could baby be here so soon? We are oh so little prepared. I ring the number I've been given and the midwife is on her way. I'd always planned a home birth, but I'd imagined hours of waiting and preparation. I look around the room. At least the fire is lit and the floor just about clean. I feel cold and wrap myself in blankets, and the pain rolls in waves. I have longed for a baby, imagined a tiny hand in mine, planned her whole life as I waited and waited. At last, baby is so close, but something is not quite as it should be. My waters have not yet broken and the pain is intense. I hope I will have time for everything to fall into place. Then there is a knock at the door and the midwife bustles in, all starchy smile and no-nonsense hands. "You'll hopefully have a baby by morning," she says, disappearing into the kitchen. I watch her go to make tea and boil water. Hope there will be something for me. I know baby is on her way. And as the clock strikes midnight, born she is, encased in a balloon of shimmering membrane slippery as seaweed. "She'll have second sight, that one, I see her for sure," the midwife crows, smiling down at the baby in her arms. "Uncool, they call it," I says to you. "Your baby has come to us born in the veil." "Really?" I manage, twisting up my thick dark hair. "She'll never drown at sea, your child, as long as you keep a bit of the coal. She my special babe." I am weary and long for sleep. I absently grab the coal, go to throw it across the room onto the fire. "No, wait!" The midwife runs to my side, frantic. "Don't destroy it. You'll need the coal. It's precious in itself and will protect the men at sea." So they say, so they say. I lay it carefully on the mantelpiece to dry. I sit holding my new baby to my breast and sing her a song of the sea. I watch the midwife hurrying around, collecting her things. She smiles at we two, the mother and babe. Another night's work done. We live a short walk from the sea, down a sandy path edged with sweet-smelling weeds and coastal flowers, sea campions, sheepspit scabious and thrift. Sea pinks, they call them, forcing their tiny stems to grow between the hard-edged rock walls and along the cliffs. I push baby Jen in a ropey buggy. She is growing fast. Her huge eyes catch mine, and for a moment, I'm sure she knows everything about me, understands far beyond her years. Perhaps she sees things already, I worry, an uneasy feeling mixed with the sea wind. I leave the buggy at the bottom of the path and carry her. The sand is grey and full of tiny shells. The strand line a roll of bladderwrack, threaded with ropes and fish line, driftwood and feathers. The rock pool stretches out full of promise. Gulls and cormorants prowl the sea. I take Jen in my arms to the roaring waves and watch her smile open, and I smile with her. My little one is a watery babe. All along the shoreline are bigger shells. I lift one to my ear and to hers. I am sure I can hear voices singing from the sea. We return to the sea every afternoon and she grows with the song of the sea swirling all about her. I notice baby Jen can communicate like no other I've known. She lies partly on a shawl, kicking her bare legs, the backs covered in sand, her tiny voice travelling free on the wind. An orator she'll be, they say. She will work in a law court talking with deft persuasion. I look down at baby Jen and listen to her song and marvel at my gifted baby born with a veil. I'll always keep her safe, safer than any other, and she'll see to it her mother is cared for. Take all the burdens away, you'll see. I take her down to the nearby arbour, my feet heavy with the day, and I'm hungry from too many days with too little to eat. I know the fish caught will go to the fine tables in fancy restaurants and not in my belly where it's needed. I find the fishing boat I'm seeking, the biggest on the quay. The river is green as bottles. There is a thick tidal surge. I can feel the bustle and urgency of industry as my shoulders brush with many ghostly shoulders working here for centuries. I can taste the underskirts of the sea, slippery with the ocean, eyes glazed with death, ready for ice. Hear the uneasy scream of prowling gulls pacing the sky. They say 'tis bad luck to have a woman on the quay along with rabbits and pigs, but no matter. I am here for good reason, of that I am certain. The trawlers are just in, huge nets neatly stowed and many ropes in place. The fish are being unloaded in crates. I need to act fast. I see a friendly fisherman, flick back my hair and give him a wave. Here, I say to the fisherman, I have something for you. And I take out the caul, dried carefully on the mantelpiece, and I hand it over just as nicely as can be. And the fisherman? He takes it to protect him at sea. I wish to trade the caul. It will gift you luck, I say to him. He looks at my baby with a jolly great grin. I thank you, and in return I have something for you. All the fish you could eat for a year. And every year after? I ask, a little hesitant. Every year after, as long as the girl lives. His oilskins are slippery yellow, his boots wet with sea. Hair is sandy, matted with time, his smile tinted with the salt wind. He prepares a basket, overspilling with the best of his catch. I wait and watch in wonder at the food my baby brings. When it is ready, he passes it over. I reach out for the basket of fresh fish, my hands trembling, and the smell of the sea envelops me. Thanking you is all I can say. You've given us your luck, the fisherman says darkly, and we'll give some back to you. He puts on his cap and continues his work, placing the caul carefully in the hold. As I leave, I have a nagging feeling in my gut. I wander back along the riverside, watching the water move with the tide, listen to Jen sing. I wonder what I have done. Have I given my luck away for fish? Should I have put my empty stomach above the charm of my baby's fragile life? Then I twist my hair high on my head and gather my skirts. My baby has a gift for life. It simmers deep within her song, and I can give a little of her luck to the fisherman and keep my little luck for us. The next morning, I take my baby back down the sandy path to the sea. We pass the white sea campion and the bright blue scabious. I walk barefoot over the tiny, scratchy shells to the wet sand by the sea edge. Clear salt water ripples through my toes. I take off her clothes and slip into my costume. We wade in together, and then I let her be. And sure enough, she still has her watery gift, and she swims away.
Thank you for listening to the Salt and Mirrors and Cats podcast. The story you heard today was The Veil by Anna Chorlton, with voice acting by Claire Calverley. To find out more about the authors and voice actors in this episode, please see the links in our show notes. Salt and Mirrors and Cats is now available in our online shop, and for those who would like to buy it in person, why not pop to our official stockists, Treadwell's Bookshop in London. For more information, see the links in our show notes. Salt and Mirrors and Cats. We'll share the good luck.